So this is the next webinar, and today we will be looking at the body screens. So we are still on the analysis part. I will share my screen. Okay, so we've already seen biomarkers and energy. We are now going to body. Body will present you with three main elements, the meridians, the acupuncture points, and the organs. For the meridians, you can just click on, so you have here the 14 main meridians, but you can switch to 20 if you want to get more extraordinary meridians. The meridians are organized here in a top-down, so this is yin and yang, and each meridian is organized one against another because they are meant to be the yin and yang part. And although they are in a progressive way, it means that these meridians come first, and there should be a natural progression like that. The most important meridians, the most energetic meridians, should be on the left, and you should be. It's like a river from left to right. Okay. So if you click on, let's stay on 14. If you click on a meridian, you will show the app will show you the path of the meridian and the body on some additional information here. So you can click on any meridian and see the path. And you can see already a little bit of the points that are in it. So when you click on a meridian, you will see the main relationships between the different meridians, and you can get some more information here. So small intestine receives information from all of these meridians and sends energy, from all of these meridians and sends energy to all these ones. And you can just browse and see what you have to do. As usual, when you want to add it to the priorities, you can just click here and it will be added to your daily meditations or your frequency programs. If you want to go back to the global screen, you just click again here on meridians and it will show you the home screens for the meridians. You can also choose them here and see at a glance all meridians states. So you can click from this menu. And you can also go from one meridian to another with the two arrows that are here on the left. Or if you are on a small screen, it will be on the top. So here. If you did a multi-part recording, so you do a recording on a specific analysis, and then you record a new part, you will have these different parts on top. And as with all our screens, you can just compare part by part the evolution of the different meridians. For instance, before a specific treatment and after a specific treatment, or day after day. If you do a 21-day meditation, for instance, you will find the evolution day after day here. So you can directly see how things are evolving in these different parts. If you click on the flower, of course, you have more information here again. You have here the main effects of the meridian according to TCM, the location, the normal usage, all the emotional links, and the quality. And this quality text is a function of how the petal is and how these different attention, intention, horizon are. So this will explain the general state of this particular meridian. You can also link directly to, you can see some specific frequencies that could help balance this meridian. So when you are on one meridian here and you want to see the frequencies, as for every frequency, you will have the organ frequency here. So this will just balance the meridian as it is, and you can play it if you want to listen to it. Or you can add some frequency protocols on top of it. And these protocols are linked to this meridian because there are some frequencies in common, for instance. So if you want to help the heart meridian with some specific applications. You can just add them here by clicking on a plus, and it will play together the organ and the specific protocol. Here you will go back to this screen, but here, if you click on clock or if you click on biomarker, it will change the tab and bring you, for instance, to this screen, which is the TCM clock. So these are the 12 main meridians according to their normal hours. So for instance, the heart meridian should be active between 11 and 1 in the afternoon. So this is day and this is night. So this is 24 hours. So from 6 in the morning to 12, so noon to 6 in the evening, and then the whole night. And around this clock, you should find an activity for all the meridians. And what is interesting is that in red, you have the recording hour of the actual moment that you did the recording. So you should have on this hour, the main meridian should be active on the hour of the recording. So if you are perfectly aligned with your body clock, you should have more energy here. So if you don't have, maybe this is something you should investigate and see why. So again, here you find the flower. And if I click back on meridians, I will here go back to this page. So this is a general way of navigating across flowers. If you have several screens that are giving you information, you can just click on it. And for instance, here, go back to the biomarker with the heart. On all the body maps, you have energy, entropy, and coherence, and this will give you some more information that is very useful. So energy will show you the most energetic and the least energetic meridians. And again, you can switch to 20 if you want. So if you switch to 20, you will get some information on the extraordinary meridians. But if you want to stay on the 14 classical meridians, you just click on 14 and you will not get the extraordinary meridians inside. You can display more if you want. If you go on entropy, so just to finish that, the most energetic ones and the least energetic ones, I think it's self-explanatory, but maybe you want to explore this one and add them to the priorities, but probably this one is already in the priorities because it's the least energetic of all. So this is from the least energetic to more energy, and this is from the most energetic on top to less energy. So the most important is always on top, and you can understand it, of course, if you just display one. You have just the two most important here. And if you click on it, as you can see, you get some more information that you don't have on the other screens, because this information changes a little bit if you are in energy, entropy, or coherence. So in the least energetic one, you will get some additional information here on why it is the least energetic. So this is an emotional explanation. This is a body explanation, and this is a symptoms-related explanation. And if it is linked to other meridians that are in the same state, it could indicate some specific problems. Okay, so with this, because we are in the least energetic or most energetic, we will get some specific diagnosis that comes from the TCM knowledge. And the TCM knowledge also cross-references when several meridians are acting together in the same way, and then gives you a more precise result here. So this is something you should probably explore if you are into TCM, because you can just go into all this and see if something is interesting for you. And if you are concerned by that, you can just maybe add it to your priorities. Okay. And if you are concerned by that, you should probably add also the gallbladder in your priorities, so that you will work with the two meridians at once. Sorry. Same with entropy. So you will see the most agitated. So the most agitated first, and then less agitation, and the most static. So the less agitated first and more agitation. And again, if you click on it, you can have a cross-reference here that comes from TCM with some information and some additional information if it is linked to another one. So this means lung is the most agitated, but heart is also very agitated. So when you cross these two together, you will get this TCM diagnosis. Okay.
Mederick, we just have a quick question at this point from Kat, where she just wants you to clarify that the information displayed here is specific to the individual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes, of course,
Yeah.
Kat.
Okay. So yes or no, this information, so the state of the petal, the most static and agitated, this is specific to the user. But if you go into the how to say the information that comes from TCM is the same for everybody because this is TCM knowledge. And TCM knowledge says that in a general way, if you have this particular meridian, which is low energy, crossed with another meridian, which is low energy, it will give you this particular kind of diagnosis. So this information is static because this is the experience of TCM practitioners. But the actual state of the meridians is specific to the user.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back. So what's happening? I'm here. So entropy we saw. Coherence. Okay, so coherence is a little bit different. Coherence system means these two meridians are vibrating together during the whole recording and have a strong relationship. So it doesn't mean they are more energetic or less energetic or more agitated or less agitated, but it means that they are moving together. And again, you can cross-reference some information here. It's less pertinent in coherent systems, but it's interesting to know that these two systems are moving together because if it speaks to you on a TCM point of view, it can also give you some more information. Then we go to the points. So the second big part of the body are the TCM points. So here we have a whole body map of all TCM points in the body, but you can show the TCM points of only one specific meridian, and it will give you some information from the TCM literature on this particular. So for instance, this is the heart meridian. The heart meridian has several specific points, ambassador points, tonification point, and so on. So this comes from TCM. If you're interested by that, you have to read some TCM books to understand why they are useful. But this is the most useful point on the meridian that TCM receipts use to diagnose or to treat. And then you can click on specific points. Sometimes it's tricky because you have to click right in the middle. And each point will actually have its own evaluation and its own information. So you have here again the location, the usage, and the quality that comes from here. But location and usage and the original name are specific to each point. So we have something like 420 points. So it's a lot of information. You can get the information about all the points from heart here. So here you will choose what TCM point, what meridian you want. And here you will see all the points from bladder, for instance, and all their different states. And if you click on one, you will see its location, and you will get some information here about its, for instance, its usage. This new display that you have only on points is related to the sum of the evaluation of all points in the meridian. So it can give you some information about the dynamics of the points relative to the global meridian. It's a global evaluation of points, which comes from different algorithms than the meridian. And it also gives you the left and the right part of this energy. Okay, so TCM information can be lateralized. So you can have information on left and right part, and this will show here. So the left and right bar.
Just actually at this point, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So Kat just wants to know that when you're showing the flow of the meridians, is that specific to the individual?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you see in red. So when you do TCM, you have usually, I'm not sure of the English term, but you can have an excess of energy or a lack of energy somehow. So in French, we say un creux et un plein. I don't know the English term, but you probably know it better than me.
Maybe tonify or sedate?
Probably yes. Sedated or yeah. So the red are with less energy, and the green are with more energy, and the vibration is a function of agitation, so entropy. So some points could be very energetic, but very static, but more or less they are all more or less the same here. But maybe if we change another one, or maybe if we just display everything, you should see that some are more static than others. So when you are in a specific flow like that, you will actually see the state of the different points, and you can visually maybe see that this one is probably the most important in liver, and you can get some more information here about what it is. Again, we have energy, entropy, and coherence, and again, it will give us some new information that we don't have when we are just in the display. So this will not show individual points, but it will show you TCM receipts. So TCM receipts are collections of several points that are used together to cure specific problems. So TCM doctors will use, for instance, for stomach digestive issues, they will use ST35, ST40, and CV12. And you can see where they are here. Okay, so this is CV12. I have to go back here. Sorry. So this is CV12, and this is ST36 and 40. So if you want to act physically on the body, you have a guide here to tell you where it is. But if you don't want to act physically, you just have to click here to add it to your meditations. And in fact, when you add a receipt to your meditations, it will add the 3 points to play. So the receipt will not play by itself, but the 3 different points will play sequentially in your meditation, and the frequencies of the points will be played too. So the idea here is that if you look into energy or entropy, you will find some receipts that are probably most indicated for this specific recording. So most agitated, for instance, you can see respiratory issues, cough, asthma, or most static, insomnia. So this on top would be the most affected points. The idea behind that is that when we evaluate all the points, we will find some points that are moving together and that are in the same state and that correspond to specific recipes. And you will see these recipes as possible problems related to this recording. So of course, like everything, it can be an acute problem, or it can be a phantom problem, or it can be something that people don't feel because it's just a collection of points. So maybe sometimes we have a good information and sometimes the information is not pertinent. So you have to review it and to see if it's pertinent for you. And if you find that shoulder pain is actually something that you currently have, just add it. Okay? So check the most energetic ones, the most agitated ones, and maybe the one in coherence, which means that for this system, these three recipes are moving together during the recording. So it might indicate that something links all this problem together, which also is very interesting because maybe they will say, maybe your client will say, okay, knee pain, it tells me something, but high blood pressure and hypertension, I didn't know. So maybe I have to check because it seems that these three problems are actually related. So it can give you a good deal of information, and you can get more information if you want, just click on plus, but don't be overloaded by information because you can get too much. So, okay. So check the most energetic and least energetic ones, the most agitated and most static ones, and you might get some good information here from the organs. Any questions at this point?
Yeah, if I'm getting this right, then we can get that screen from any of our analysis.
Yeah.
So we can like check like points, like on one analysis, maybe different points are off, but then we can look and see what the consistency of like this person always has like this heart meridian point off or whatever, correct? To compare points.
You want to see the evolution?
Well, like we could these charts are specific for each reading that we could go back.
Yeah.
Them to chart. Yeah, that's brilliant. Awesome. Yeah.
So the recipes are always the same. There is something like 120 different recipes right now in the system. Maybe we will add more with the time, but it's already a good list. So the recipes are fixed because it comes from traditional medicine knowledge. So all traditional medical doctors have slightly different recipes because there are a lot of different schools. And remember, it's something like 5,000 years old for Ayurveda and 3,500 old for TCM. So there was a lot of research about that, and some practitioners found that using some collections of points had good effects on some symptoms. So we are integrating this one after another. And right now there are something like 120 different recipes. So these recipes are the same for everybody, but the evaluation is different for everybody, of course.
So the one more to consider that. So playing back then the frequencies, you're getting like an acupuncture treatment.
Yes.
Through the yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the point. If you go back to frequencies, when you add some recipes, you will see here the recipes. Will you see them? Okay, let's go back. Body, entropy, points, entropy, lung. Okay, so this one is inside. So you will see it in your, I don't know what happens with my device, I'm sorry. You will see it in your priorities. 1 second, okay. As TCM points and as recipes. So we can add specific TCM points or we can add the whole recipes, but in fact, adding one recipe is the same as adding these 3 points separately.
Awesome. Wow.
Okay.
That would take forever, like an acupuncturist, to figure all that out.
Yeah, it should be a good way to make a first assessment and then to use your knowledge to verify if it's actually pertinent or not for this particular person, and maybe to act also physically on the acupuncture points, because you can just use acupressure or you can use moxa, or there are different techniques that you can use physically on the body if you want, but each one of the points have specific frequencies that we use in the application.
Just a quick question from Daniel.
Yeah.
If you can go back in just to show the meridians there.
Yes, sorry.
What if the access point is on a part of the body that's not displayed in the graphic?
Oh,
Want to explain that question a bit more, a bit more?
Yes. Well, okay, so when we're looking at the meridian screen and you have half of the front side on one side and then the corresponding side on the back on the left.
yeah.
So what if the acupuncture point, say specifically, because I get acupuncture 2 to 3 times a month. So, sometimes they're putting needles into the right side of my body, front or back. And but sometimes they're putting needles into my left side, front or back. So right now, when I'm looking at the body diagram,
Yeah.
so on the right side of the screen, you see the front side, the front half of the body.
Yeah.
So what about the meridians that are on the front left side of the body?
Okay, so it was too complicated to display here front and back on the same. Sorry, left and right on the same. So that's why we show only one side of the meridians, but the meridians, the main meridians are lateralized. So the 12 first meridians are lateralized. And as I said, if you click here, you can see the evaluation of the left and right points.
Okay, I see.
Which means that
that's where
for every point, we actually have an evaluation for the left and right part. It's not displayed here directly. It's true that we could say left or right, but they are usually quite the same. So right now, it's in the app, it's only one entity, and it's the same frequencies. But maybe at one point we could find a way to use it on the left and right part, but maybe it's also an overshoot. I am not sure.
Thank you. Yeah, because sometimes, when I go, the needles go on the right side, and sometimes I turn on my back and they go on the right, the left side. So I mean, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah,
this is very interesting.
Yes, you are right to say on the left part is the back, on the right part is the front, but each meridian could be on both sides.
Oh, so you can't see me, but I'm pointing to the right side, okay? And so that the meridians say at the shoulder, right? Or the little spot down there underneath the armpit on the ribs. That would be the same side. It would be the same on the left side front.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
In fact, you could put a mirror here and see the path of the meridian on the other side that would go something like that. Okay.
Okay. That's just for clarification, because I have an appointment with Pei, my acupuncturist, where I'm going to get acupuncture, but I'm also going to show her the software.
Yeah.
So I would like to see if she, I'll show her my analyzing, and maybe she wants to get analyzed. I mean, it'll be on my iPad, but oh well.
Okay, so to my knowledge, the 12 first meridians are lateralized. So you have, for all 12 first meridians, you have a left and a right part. And for the 8 extraordinary meridians, it's not lateralized. So starting from governor vessel and conception vessel, which are straight in the middle anyway. And if you want the 20 ones, these ones are not lateralized, to my knowledge, anyway. But again, in the app, we don't use lateralization this much. It's we have the same frequencies for the points and for the meridians, whether it's left or right.
Couple of questions here. One from Kat. If you keep adding recipes, you will end up with a very big meal or a very long meditation.
No, because the idea is that even if we have 1,000 recipes, we will only take the most important ones. So priorities could become quite large. But you see, we have 4 recipes here. And if you want to see more recipes, you can just go on the organ map, or you can click on Explore here, and it will present you with the most important one and the reason why. So these ones are the low resources. It means that when you take the points globally from each of these recipes, they are low on our resource algorithm score. it means they are on the bottom of the food chain, so to say. So it's probably important because they are probably very low in energy. Then you are the one in common phases, it means in coherence together. Then you have notable energy because they are high or low in energy. And then you have notable movement because they are high or low in agitation. So this is another way to find some interesting recipes for you.
And a question from Frederick. Will the program automatically create the recipes, or can you add your own additions or changes to it?
Right now, there is no recipe editor. So maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we could add recipes like we add list elements.
Not today, though, Frederick. Not today.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be possible, of course. Okay, so the last part is organs. So again, if you are on a smaller screen, the menu is on top. So the first level of menu is meridians, points, and organs. And then, as usual, you have a selection of what's that? Okay. So when you are in the meridians here, you will choose which meridian you want to work on. But when you are on organs, you will choose what organ map you want to see. So you can see the whole body, but you can also see the teeth. And again, you can change with the different the arrows. Vertebrae, nervous system, musculoskeletal, the brain, digestive system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, the membranes, which is a bit special, female organs, which should not be here because I'm a male, and male organs, and whole body. And again, if you click on parts, it will show you the list of the different biomarkers that are present in this particular map on their respective evaluation here. So you can have in a glance all the elements. So you still have a bug because the feminine are not calculated, but they are in the list. So that should be removed from the list. So if you go to teeth, for instance, and you go to parts, you will see all the teeth and all their different evaluations. And if you click on one specific teeth, you will see the energetic links between these different teeth. And if you click on the flower, you will get some additional information, which is interesting, which is the emotional links of the teeth with different emotions or organs. And this is actually very interesting. So you can just click on the teeth to navigate. And if you click on the flower, you get some more information here. And you can see the links of teeth together. So maybe if you have a problem with some specific teeth, you can see if it is linked to other teeth and how you can handle it. And with all these screens, you let me enlarge a little bit. With all these screens, you also have energy, entropy, and coherence to see if what are the most important points in this particular screen. So if you go to vertebrae, you will see the most important energy points, or the most important agitation or static elements. And again, if you click on it, you will get some information here, including the emotional links. What can I say more on the organs? It's the same system for everybody. So except that you don't have more information in the organs when you click on energy and entropy. This is different from meridian and points at this point, anyway. But maybe we will also add some specific recipes or something like that in the future. Just a quick note on membranes, because you are not maybe used to see that. This comes specifically from Christine's book, because she worked a lot on membranes for a book about prology. So it will be useful if you read her book and you work on membranes, because it's actually an important part of her interpretation of what happens in the body. So this is quite an unusual organ map, let's say, but it makes sense when you get Christine's book in English soon. Okay, any question at this point? I just forgot to say you can click on different parts of the map so you don't see what parts are clickable or not. So sometimes it's a little bit random, but you can actually click on different parts and get some information. So if you click on the brain, for instance, of course, and something else, you have the links between the different screens here. So for instance, I clicked on the brain, it receives information from the tongue. And if I want to click on digestive system, it will show me the tongue in relation to other elements of the digestive system. Okay. So now I am in the tongue. It receives energy from the trachea. If I click on whole body, it will show me it in relationship to the whole body. So I can jump from one organ map to another one by these links here. So it sends information to veins. Okay, let's go to cardiovascular systems and see the relationships of veins with other elements on this map. There are also some strange things here, and these strange things are molecules, usually hormones, that are linked to this system. So for instance, here we have noradrenaline and adrenaline, because it's related to the cardiovascular system. So we wanted to be able to show the relationships on the screen. And it's the same on several screens. Yes, for instance, in the brain, you will find a lot of strange looking molecules, which are the neurotransmitters or the hormones. And again, you can see the relationships of these elements with other elements and the amino acids also.
I just have 3 questions for you. Christian wants to confirm that when you talk about membranes, you're talking about fascias.
I don't think so. I'm not sure about it, so I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Membranes are, for instance, pericardium, so the heart membrane, the thoracic cavity, the peritoneum, the pelvic membrane. Okay, let's just list them there. The periosteum, the skin, and the cranial membrane, and the cerebellum. So this, I really should ask Christine to explain it, but these are the different enclosures, and it's also linked to embryology. So these different parts, she particularly worked on membranes and embryology, because embryology is a very important way to interpret the different cells that we have in the body. But maybe we should leave these questions for a session with Christine later, because she would be far better than me to answer this.
Well, then there's a question from Daniel. The progress part has 3-part progress. What do the parts mean?
So I don't know if I had my screen, but these are the different membranes if you click on it. And here you have the list. Sorry, again?
Yes, so so question from Daniel. The progress part has a 3-part progress. What do the parts mean? I'm not even sure where you're referring to.
Well,
okay, I get it. So here on top.
Okay, gotcha.
So here on top, for instance, if you go to progress, sorry, if you go to progress, really, you will see the different recordings. So this is one analysis. And if you want to add another part, you just click here on the little plus. It's a recording button. So this one has been recorded for a little bit less than 1 minute. Then there has been a 40 minutes of something, then another recording, then 1 hour and 9 minutes of something. No, this is 40 seconds, sorry. And then a third recording. Of course, it's a bit too short, but it's okay. You can actually add some comments here. So you will say, for instance, okay, it doesn't work, fine. This is my development version and it's full of bugs. Let's try again. So in principle, you can add some comments in all these different parts. But it seems I have to fix that. Okay. So this will be, for instance, your initial recording at the beginning of the session. Then you do something. Then you do another recording and you see how things evolve. Then you do something else. And then maybe you do another recording the day after because the person comes back. So you will have the different recordings that will show on top. And you can compare them. So if you want to compare them side by side, you have to work on the same analysis, right? In the future, it will be possible to compare different analyses, but currently it's not possible.
And also, Kat wants to know more about Christine's book.
Currently, it's only in French. We are working on a translation soon. It's a new take on why we are ill, and it's actually a gift to be ill and seeing things on the positive way. So she developed the resource approach and a new way to interpret diseases and organs. But it will be, it's important to have information of that are in this book related to the app. So it means that it's useful to, sorry, Daniel, I will just mute you. Yeah. I'm just muting you, Daniel, because there is noise. So yes, the book will be soon translated in at least in English. It's not even available in French yet. So this is a process that we are currently finalizing. Okay, any other question?
No, nothing in the chat.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I might have just missed this, but you're saying to do a comparative analysis, you actually need to you need to rerun the same, you open up the exact analysis you want to compare to, and you rerun it?
Yeah, you open it. Okay, let me show you. So you take probably the most recent one, which should be the first here. But let's say you choose a specific client. It will show you here the last 3 ones that you worked on. So you take probably the most recent one, you open it, and you will just add a new part. So to add a new part, you can go to progress and just click here to add a new part. Or you can also just click on the Bluetooth connection here, which will in fact launch a new recording. It's still computing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using my development version. It's crashing all the time. So anyway, you open the analysis that you want to work on, and you just add a new part. And in this way, you will be able to compare them side by side.
Okay, just add a new part. Okay,
yeah.
Got it. All right.
And did you see if I got that right? Did you say that the membrane part is in Christine's other book that's just in French and there's not a piece in there?
No, it's not in this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not even in French. It's not released yet. But she actually wrote 2 books, and it will be soon released, and we will probably release it in English at the same time. And it will be a good book. So Frederick, I think, had another question. Does the meditation generate automatically generated at the frequencies required to balance what the body needs? Yes, and this is not what we call a recipe. A recipe is a collection of points, and we actually add the frequencies of the points to the meditation onto the frequency program. When we do the frequency program, we will play the frequencies during the meditation at the appropriate times when the specific element is played in the meditation. And if you add some protocols on top of that, it will also be played during the meditation.
Okay, thank you. So we can't just use the frequencies. We also should use the recipes to do a better complete analysis.
Yes, recipes are really interesting because it's a good way to use the points, the acupuncture points, as an analysis tool and as a balance tool.
Okay, merci beaucoup.
Je t'en prie.
Kat has a question about the visuals. What am I seeing when I look at the teeth? Can you give a brief description of the initial visual?
Okay, so you want to go to organs and to go to the teeth, for example? I think it shows entropy. Yeah. I don't know why, and maybe it's not on purpose, that when you open the teeth, it shows you energy, sorry. It shows you the energetic relationships between the most energetic and less energetic teeth. It should, if you are on entropy and you change the maps, it will stay on entropy. So it will show you the most and least agitated elements of each map, okay? And if you are an energy, it will show you the most and least energetic elements of each part. Is that true? It seems to be true. It should be true. And energy is in red and green. Entropy is in blue and orange. But it's true that when you open it the first time, it seems it shows you the relationships, but not the elements circled. I'm not sure if it's a feature of a bug, to be honest. Maybe it should just show you the map, but not the relationships. And then if you click on any individual element, you will see the relationship of this particular element you clicked on with the rest. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we stop here? Any other questions?
No, there's no more in the chat unless anybody else has something they want to shout out.
So next week we'll go to the mind screens and then probably to the 21-day balance.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for all. I will stop the recording.